Hello and good morning to all of you, and welcome you all to my YouTube channel, Animals and Pets with Partha. Today I am going to talk to you about some stories about the dog world. Dog world is full of stories anywhere around the world. India, of course, is no different. And whenever some people get together, there ought to be a lot of stories of yesteryears and, about people, about judges and about dogs, and a whole cross-section of stories are told in that gossip. Well, today, with the pandemic, the getting together of dog people practically became nil, and now, of course, it's again starting off. But the safest part, the safest way we can today share our stories is by social media, by YouTube channel, so that in the convenience of your own time, you can listen to the stories and enjoy them. So let me tell you about the story of our Dog World Syndicate. The syndicate that has been robbing this, looting these dog lovers of this country for the last 2 decades. And which has actually put our country way back in the dog world, in the global scenario. Lots and lots of very capable, knowledgeable, senior, respectable, honorable people who would actually come into this dog game. Many of them have left, few are still around, because they have not been given the due respect or the due recognition in the proper time, because the syndicate had actually been only propagating some of his sycophants, and everything that the syndicate could, he used to sell it for money. It was only money, wine and woman that could actually get things done from the syndicate. So the situation kept on for the last 2 decades until, of course, some people had to step out and go to court and bring matters to a halt. I will tell you now about a story about the many years ago, when, of course, the mobile telephones, the cell phones had already come into being, but not the smartphones. What you had was you could text messages, and apart from taking calls and calling people around, you could text messages across the globe, which was the cheapest and the easiest way that you could be in touch with people. So texting of jokes became very popular among the elite. A lot of honorable people, honorable men and gracious ladies even shared jokes, and a lot of them were adult jokes. So we all, people who've actually seen those times, like me, we're all used to this. And a lot of these gracious ladies also shared these adult jokes, and they sent it to people they knew. And there were a lot of men who actually got these jokes from these ladies. Now, our syndicate got a joke from a lady, and he thought it was invitation for him, some sort of an invitation. So he had that in mind, and so when he was invited to the country to judge a major dog show, of course, and to his surprise, the same lady was also in the panel, and so that made things interesting. So he was all the time focused on that lady judge, which was, everyone noticed it, and it became very obvious that what was going on. What happened was, in the night in the hotel, this syndicate, let us call him the Indian Bull. The Indian Bull got drunk, and then he came out of the hotel room and he started charging down. He went to that, door of that gracious lady and started knocking. So the lady said, "What? This hour of the night, who's knocking?" So she threw the peepholes, that eye hole that you have in the room, the door. She looked out and saw this Indian Bull standing there. So she was scared and she phoned the officials of the club to come with help to remove this, to do something, because this Indian Bull was standing in front of the door. And then the club official, the senior club official, immediately pulled up and took out his fastest horse and his buckled his hostler and his 9mm pistol in it and rode quickly down to that hotel. Once in the hotel, he jumped down the horse, and then he swiftly pulled out the pistol from the holster, and then he steadied his arm to take on the Indian Bull charging down the corridor of the hotel. So anyway, this is the story. Now, after that, of course, that syndicate or the Indian Bull that I was telling you about never ever went back to that country. And a lot of people around the world know about it. If I know it, of course, obviously, there are a lot of other people know it. And also, if you don't know it, you can just find out, because dog world, the stories never get old. They only get, it's like old wine. They only mature and they become better and better with age. So this is the story of the syndicate. I am sure his sycophants must be really worried about, Well, this is just not one story. He has stories around in many various different countries also. Well, it is just for you to find out, and it's interesting. So anyway, this is very unfortunate for our dog game that we have represent ourselves in such a uncouth manner to the international community of the dog world. There were a lot of, just before I finish off, I would like to tell you that over these last, decades, we had some fantastic, some wonderful, gracious, honorable dog people who would actually come into this dog world. Many of them have left this dog game because they were never ever recognized, and then, of course, they left the game. But there are a lot of people still around, and I'm sure we can get them back to the game if we can get rid of this syndicate and his sycophants and make this dog game like an ocean. Because India is really vast. It is like many countries of Europe put together that would make India. It's a federal system that we have 36 states in this country, and then we have all these states are quite well off people in these states, and also small towns and villages. Indian people are really empowered at this point of time, and there are millions and millions of pedigreed dogs which are around the country, but they are mostly all are not even registered. They do not have a proper we don't have a proper system of registering the dog. Whatever little that we have, that is actually a corrupt system operating by this syndicate. And a few other small operators are there, smaller clubs, which also register dogs, but none of them have DNA at this point of time, and most of the pedigree of this registration generated by the syndicate are actually fictitious, and they do not conform to the dogs that they represent. So I will say goodbye for now. I'll come with more stories about the dog world, and I'm sure you must have all enjoyed the story of the Indian bull charging down the hotel corridor in a distant country. Anyway, believe it or disbelieve it, the story is there for you. Enjoy it. See you again at our next episode in a short while.